Welcome to Scotch with Bob and Matt.
We're here today to do a little tasting on the old Pulteney 100, a nice little Scotch that we were given, and we were able to taste all of the different old Pulteney brand of Scotches, and this is the first one that is a non-age statement.
And it's different because it's finished in peat casks,
Yep.
which gives it a beautiful flavor. Not only is it the normal briny aspect that you get from the old Pulteney being on the coast in Wick in Scotland, but it also has the extra added feature of having the beautiful peat
Yes.
from the barrels.
This has been aged in a nice old bourbon barrel that has also housed a peat scotch, and I believe the peat scotch that it came from is from the Enoch brewery. A very nice little scotch that we will probably be talking about later.
We will be for sure.
This was a nice one. It just has that slight tang of the peat coming through.
Yeah, it's not a peat bomb.
No, but you're definitely getting a little briny. And Matt and I were discussing the briny flavor and nose that's coming through many of the old Pulteney, Talisker, Jura, any of the upper island scotches, and we were trying to figure out what the meaning is of the briny. If you take 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt and put them in the water, stir them up, there's no odor. So it's not an odor from the salt water.
No, but it's sea salt. I mean, when we taste this, what you're getting as briny, I think, is sea salt and seaweed. I mean, there's a vegetation in there, maybe a little fishy. In some of the notes it talks about algae and it's all of that. But I think it's the seaweed and the sea salt.
Yeah.
And the air around like a beach or a seaside, rocky coast.
All the little critters that you kind of smell when you're down at the beach and you're sensing the nice aromas that's coming off of the surf. That's what you're getting here. These, especially with the old Pulteney, when they put them in their aging kegs, the kegs are stored in buildings that are right there being washed by the North Sea, and that North Sea water is just washing over all of the kegs, and a little bit of that sea brininess is seeping into the different kegs.
And gives it a really nice character.
Oh, a totally different character than if you were doing an inland type of scotch, which we just talked about the Dalmore and also the Glenmorangie. Those are more of an inland scotch, so they're not going to have this wash of the seaweed. Nice flavor on this one.
And it carries. The peat carries. Although it's light, the finish is nice with the peat. So what are the actual tasting notes on this?
On this one, I was just going back and taking a look. There's definitely a creaminess on the nose on this one, a nice saltiness. There's a little bit of chocolate, but I would have to lean towards more of the white chocolate on this one.
Yeah, I don't have chocolate on this.
There's some fruitiness in there, but again, it's an orchard type fruit, apple maybe. Definitely a nice flavor on the nose on this one. There's a little toffee coming through that I get towards the end of the nose.
And the peat really comes through after.
We've been tasting the flavor of this. I do get a little smokiness. I do get a little of that, not necessarily the campfire that comes from the Isle of Scotches, but there's definitely a little smokiness going along with the little seafood texture that I'm getting out of this. There's a burnt sugar, a smoky sugar coming through it, a smoky honey that I'm getting on this one.
A smoky sugar? I don't necessarily get that. And you're right, it's more of a smoky peat than a campfire peat, for sure.
Definitely getting the malted cereal notes coming from this one here. There's some fun things in here. We talked about the nuttiness coming through, and I get the nuttiness, but they mentioned in the notes a hazelnut butter. As much as I like peanut butter, hazelnut butter, I'm getting the nuttiness, but I couldn't pinpoint it to being the hazelnut that's mentioned.
Yeah, nor I.
It's got a nice long finish to it. We talked about having a little bit of a spice in there, and I just made a nice chicken the other night, and I'm getting a little bit of that thyme that we had on the chicken on the final taste on the palate.
Yeah, and you're getting that from here?
Yeah, just a touch of that thyme spiciness coming through.
Is it barbecued chicken?
Sorry, I just took a taste.
That.
No, more of a marinade chicken.
Marinated, okay.
Marinade chicken. Yeah, there's no barbecue on here.
I just meant on the grill.
I think if we were going back and talk about barbecue, we're going to have to go back down to the little Isla type scotches. But this one here, the subtlety of the peat is just light. It's very nice. It's just a nice little pleasant sipper.
Yeah, I think for someone who's not familiar with peat or thinks they don't like peat,
Oh, this is a
nice gateway.
This is a good gateway of bringing somebody aboard and experimenting with a little peaty type scotches
Without blowing them away.
without going to the campfire type scotches that both Matt and I know enjoy immensely.
Well, there are a lot of them that we don't enjoy, so
Yeah.
Really.
This is a extremely nice one. This is a non-age statement, so we're not quite sure how long this one is. A minimum of 3 years, but by the taste of it and the breaking down of all the flavors and everything, it has to be an older flavor.
And this one comes in at 46% ABV.
Yep.
So it's a great. Anything between 43 and 46 for me is where I really prefer them. Also, being that it's I don't know. I happen to like Old Pulteneys a lot. I've got a bunch of Old Pulteneys at home.
One of my favorites also, and I do really enjoy the shape of the bottle.
Yes.
It's kind of unique. It's
like
a
the
little
still.
different than all the rest.
The top looks like the still.
And that is a replica of the still that Old Pulteney uses for making their scotches up there in the northern part of Scotland. It is one of the most northern distilleries in Scotland without going off the continent or off the main island.
So also this one is I think it was about $70.
Yep.
That's correct, I think.
Yes.
Also available at Lucan's.
Also available at Lucan's, one of our second home for both Matt and I.
That's why we have it on our shirts.
So I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe and like button, and hope you come back for many more of these little entertaining tidbits we have of our Scotch.
So if you follow us on here, follow us also on Facebook and Instagram. Any of the links, follow us. Look for our whiskey tastings around town in Dunedin, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Scotch.
Scotch.